On 7's Big League now, we check the scores of our non-televised matches this afternoon, and first of all, the St Kilda North Melbourne encounter. North Melbourne successful by 64 points. Jonas got 7 goals and German 4. Lockett got 6 goals for St Kilda. Hawthorn, after a slow start, came out to defeat the Sydney Swans by 73 points. Lee Matthews got 6 goals for Hawthorn to take his career tally to 901. And that places him in 4th position on the VFL all-time goal-kicking list behind Gordon Coventry on 1299, Doug Wade on 1060 and Jack Skinny Titus on 970. Footscray annihilated Melbourne this afternoon. It was their highest ever score against the Demons, their greatest ever winning margin, 120 points. Simon Beasley's 12 goals equals the 1934 record by Bob Pratt in a round 15 game in scoring the even dozen. And that incidentally was against Footscray. One reported player, Danny Hughes. Tomorrow the match at the Lake Oval in the Army Reserve Cup is between Hawthorn and the Sydney Swans, and you'll see that straight after World of Sports at 2:15. Admission is free to the Lake Oval match, Hawthorn and the Swans this afternoon. Hope you can join us for that. Time now for Footy Stop Press as we go up to the offices of the Sunday Press and say a very good evening to their sporting editor, Scotty Palmer.
Good evening, Peter. It's a pleasure, viewers, to have you back in the Sunday Press Sports Room. It was a Bulldog bonanza. Records flowed at the Western Oval. They kicked a record score against Melbourne. It was a record-winning margin, and Simon Beasley's 12-3 was the highest by a Bulldog against Melbourne. He beat a bloke named Dickie Groves in 1946. All that, and Ron Barassi said that giving the coaching away was his last thought. You don't chuck in the towel, said Barassi. We have a week's rest, and we will regroup. Danny Hughes was reported for striking Andrew Purser by field umpire Kevin Smith today. Mickey Malthouse was pleased to get the big confidence booster, the 4 points, a few records and a hell of a lot of percentage. Don't fret, Essendon fans. The Bombers aren't too concerned about Paul Salmon's knee. Kevin Sheedy said that he, Royce Hart and Francis Burke all had some elasticity problems after their knee operation. The Bombers expect Salmon to be okay for the next match on July 20. Sheedy said we needed a tough hit out like that today. The Bombers, though, have injury worries in Wood with a hamstring and Weston a cork thigh. Collingwood, though, was disappointed tonight. Bobby Rose said it was our own fault. We had use of the ball, but we made too many mistakes. Magpie Darren Williams dislocated his shoulder and will be out for about 6 weeks. Hawthorn's Lee Matthews notched up his 900th career goal against the Sydney Swans to move to 4th on the all-time goal-kicking list. It was a great effort kicking 5, and coach Alan Jean said he was pleased to see Lethal back in his best form. For 3 quarters we didn't prove anything, but the last quarter he said was brilliant. John Northey and the Swans got to Melbourne by flock of friendship today, but he said the team just have to learn to play 120 minutes. He now knows the grim story of the Swans at Princes Park. They haven't won there for 20 years. Former St Kilda coach Alan Killigrew was in the St Kilda rooms today and said he felt the Saints lacked concentration. Killer also coached the winning side North Melbourne at VFL Park, but was right behind Graham Jelly today. He said Jelly could be the saviour of the Saints in the future. Jelly himself said his job was now to improve the Saints' disposal and their discipline. North John Kennedy said he wasn't happy that it took North until the 15-minute mark of the 3rd quarter to gain the advantage today. He wasn't going to think about the final. He said he did a few weeks ago, and some of the players made some suicidal moves in matches. Ian Fairley has a chest injury and John Holt a shoulder from today's match. Tom Hafey felt Geelong's experienced players let the Cats down today, but the club still has a chance of making the finals, according to Tom. Carlton's David Parkin also praised Geelong's endeavour, but was delighted with his side's application for 4 quarters. Things are starting to happen out there, he said today. Winger David Glascott finished with a hamstring injury today. Robbie Walls believes Fitzroy has upset its final hopes by losing to Richmond today, and was disappointed too with injuries to Serafini, Reeves and Cooper. The Lions will train at VFL Park tomorrow morning in an attempt to get their act in order. Paul Sproul said that when Maurice Rioli got the ball moving from the centre today and kicked a position, the Tigers showed their true form. He was pleased with Michael Pickering's 15 marks and the work of John Manton in the ruck. Back to you, Peter.
Right, thank you, Scotty, and full details of those stories in the Sunday Press out tomorrow, of course. And one of the reasons the Lions are training at VFL Park tomorrow is for their second semi-final clash in the Foster's Cup on Tuesday night. That is against Essendon, of course. Fitzroy and Essendon live from VFL Park 8:30 on Tuesday night. Hope you can join us for that. Hope you can stay with us. The battle now at Canidia Park coming up shortly.
The Blues continue their pursuit of a finals berth. Next on 7's Big League.